6:15 in Douala. Thanks and welcome to join me. I'm Kejang Henry. Before the news, let's flag off with our headlines. Frustration in Douala as citizens battle pothole-ridden roads in major secondary inlets of the town. Residents are calling for urgent repairs as the roads are responsible for accidents, traffic hold-ups and breakdowns. And Archbishop Samuel Kleda has set the first salvo for President Paul Biya to step down in a nerve-breaking interview on Radio France International on Christmas Day. The man of God was categoric considering President Biya's age. And feasting in Douala overshadowed by garbage as residents are confronted with grim reality of suffocating stench oozing from pyramidal heaps of garbage. Top stories.
Canal International. Canal International.
Thanks and welcome to join me. I'm Kejang Henry. Of course, our platforms are open for consultation. Now we begin from Douala, where there's total frustration from the residents as they battle pothole-ridden roads in the town. Residents have called for an urgent repair on the roads as they are responsible for accidents, traffic hold-ups and breakdowns. Ambo Gladys made a turn around the town and this is what she brought back.
As the year comes to a close, drivers navigating the Feu-Rouge-Bessengue to Wrong Point Deido stretch of roads in Douala are finding themselves in a daily struggle. This tricycle transporting ice, for example, saw its entire load tumble onto the road due to potholes and severely degraded asphalt. Drivers say their patience is running thin.
The state of the roads is deplorable. Drivers get exhausted and it impacts our health significantly. The roads are complex and in dire need of rehabilitation. The poor conditions damage our cars, making transportation difficult. The situation is deplorable. As a cook, I frequently deliver food, but due to the bad roads, the food sometimes spills in the car before reaching its destination. This is unacceptable.
From Traboutique to Wrong Point Deido, vehicles crawl at a painfully slow pace. A similar scenario unfolds at the main stretch of roads in Bessengue, in the Douala 1 subdivision. Every journey across these treacherous sections leaves road users frustrated and exhausted.
Almost all roads in Douala are in poor condition. Here at Feu-Rouge-Bessengue, the roads are riddled with potholes and have been like this for over a year. The bad roads damage our bikes, forcing us to visit the garage daily. It also affects our health, especially our backs. The government needs to take action. When roads are rehabilitated, it should be done properly. It's essential because the repairs often deteriorate even before the work is completed or shortly afterward.
Residents liken the potholes to open wounds, causing more harm than good. With accidents and vehicle damage becoming commonplace, they are now demanding immediate action from authorities.
And as Cameroonians are bracing up for the crossover to 2025, feasting in Douala is being overshadowed by garbage as residents are confronted with the grim reality of suffocating stench oozing out from pyramidal heaps of garbage around the town. Sherifa Saleh went through some of these neighborhoods and this is what she puts together for the 6:15 news.
As Douala gears up for the festive season, a harsh reality looms over the city. Streets and neighborhoods from Bessengue to Aqua are flooded with uncollected household waste. Along the road near the agencies in Bessengue, what should be a busy thoroughfare has turned into an unsightly dump site. It's been over a month that this pile of garbage has been here. The garbage agents come, take pictures and go. They say without salaries, they can't work.
I
think if the waste agent company was well paid, they will do a great job. The municipal councils should equally take things into their hands and work with the states on the cleanliness of our town. The waste, residents say, has been brewing for weeks with no visible intervention from sanitation workers or local authorities. Many blame the inefficiency of hygiene agencies tasked with waste management, while others question the adequacy of government oversight. We the citizens are equally at fault. We dump dirt anywhere, anyhow, and it really affects our town. On the other hand, municipal councils have to place trash cans in the city. I think the state have to reinforce the team in charge of waste management in the city and make sure they are well taken care of. Amidst this growing tension, public health concerns are mounting. Clouds of flies hover over the piles of waste, raising fears of disease outbreaks. Traffic congestion is worsened by roadside garbage heaps, which have even led to accidents in some parts of the city. For now, Douala city dwellers are left to endure the unsanitary conditions. As the year draws to a close, many are calling on authorities to act swiftly to restore cleanliness in the streets. Until then, the celebrations in this vibrant city remain dampened by the ever-present stench of garbage.
Thanks very much, Sharifa Saleh. And with just 24 hours to the end of the year 2024, Cameroonians are already penning down their achievements and failures. And as they project the year 2025, Beatrice Ngamo met some of them who talked of a dashed dream. Tito.
The year 2024 has not been all that pleasant for inhabitants in the capital Yaoundé. At the beginning, many set plans, objectives to attain, and even laudable resolutions to keep. But as the first 2 to 3 months vanishes, many of these slowly, quietly disappears with time. She had a business plan that crumbled after 6 months. Her plan to buy a car was never achieved. The list of abandoned, dead plans and projects long. Despite the challenges and economic hardship some were able to sail through with their programs, he planned to marry this 2024 and was able to achieve that, today living happily with his wife. This man was very determined to succeed, and his hard work earns him advancement. This other man paid more attention on his children this year and feels the outcome. The ups and downs notwithstanding, life for many is going on, especially as they are in good health. This 2024, which many at times take for granted. They hold strong to the fact that where there is life, there is hope, and it is kindled as we move into 2025. Like in the past, many other resolutions are ready in the making, waiting to start with the new year. Mixed results, they say, but at times these projects, plans, and resolutions are very necessary.
And despite the ordeals of the year 2024, many Cameroonians are hoping for a rosy end-of-year feast. Sharifa Saleh now talks of the mixed feeling because others think it is a normal day that they have to celebrate.
In Douala, preparations for the arrival of 2025 are in full swing. Many residents have set their plans, with family dinners and social gatherings topping the list.
Fin d'année, je fête en famille.
De la fin d'année en famille, avec mes parents, les amis, mes proches.
For some, the celebrations won't be confined to a single day. Some have already arranged for extra days off work, intending to seek extended time off to enjoy the festive season.
Et le premier, on verra bien ce qu'on va faire avec les amis. Mais déjà, on peut voir faire quelque chose d'exceptionnel.
However, Not everyone shares the same excitement. While some see the day as an opportunity for grand festivities, others treat it as a moment for reflection or even an ordinary day.
C'est un jour ordinaire comme les autres jours.
Despite varying perspectives, the spirit of the new year is alive in the city. From grand parties to quiet reflections, the city dwellers are ready to welcome 2025, each in their own way.
Thanks very much, Sherifa Saleh. And the Douala Metropolitan Archbishop, Samuel Kleda, has set the first salvo calling on President Biya to step aside or not to stand for the 2025 presidential election. In a nerve-breaking interview granted on Radio France Internationale on Christmas Day, the man of God was categoric, questioning President Biya's age. Details with Beatrice Nkamu.
The pre-electoral climate already heating up, time for attacks and counter-attacks as Cameroon gears up for the 2025 presidential race next October. On the one hand, the call for Paul Biya's candidacy is high, especially from his supporters and sympathizers. With the popular slogan, "Natural Candidate," they are bid for another victory for Paul Biya and the ruling CPDM party. The opposition candidates, human rights groups like peace advocates, do not hold the same vision. The Archbishop of Douala, His Grace Samuel Kleda, is one of them. Responding to RFI journalists after his homily of peace on Christmas Day, Bishop Kleda said what he wants for his country next year is a peaceful transition, for all to accept the democratic game, the winner allowed to govern. On the call for Biya as candidate, the man of God was simple, straight and clear. This is not realistic. At 92, Paul Biya has done it all. Kleda believes as human being, our time in this world is finite. Why he insists it is crucial, all is well prepared to avoid being caught off guard. The response content of a statement by the Communications Secretary of the ruling CPDM party, Jacques Famdongo, goes to him and the others who call for Paul Biya to exit the race, defending the legality of Paul Biya's candidacy with evidence and opposing arguments. This face-off heralds a presidential election that will be fiercely contested. The year 2025 will undoubtedly be a decisive year for Cameroon's future, while many are worried and looking forward to a transparent poll.
Thanks very much, Beatrice Nkamu. And Cameroon has validated the Declaration on Safe Schools, the Declaration on Safe Schools, which is aimed at multiplying strategies to make sure they help students in schools, especially in conflict area, in a declaration with the different agencies that are attached to the United Nations. The declaration roadmap was presented today. Hi, Cynthia.
According to UNESCO, UNICEF and Plan International, some 671 children suffered violence attacks in schools in the northwest and southwest regions of Cameroon in 2024, with Ngokotunja Division registering the heaviest hit with 493 victims. 119 schools equally destroyed in the two regions, as well as the far north, plunging pupils and students in situation of insecurity. A situation the government is looking forward to curb through the Safe School initiative, with the validation of the declaration roadmap in the presence of different stakeholders this December 30th in Yaoundé.
Now, I think that we're getting somewhere because people are becoming aware of the fact that schools should not be touched. We want to be able to have legislation. People should know that if there's a school, this is how you behave, and the school must go on. It is not a place for just anybody to come in and start a fight.
Different international partners reiterate that learners must be allowed to study even during crisis moments.
The importance of making sure that every single child can actually go to school, that no school is being attacked, misused by other actors. So really to ensure that every single child in Cameroon can go back to school.
With the declaration roadmap, The government is also expected to regularly collect data, provide needed assistance to victims of school attacks, investigate cases of violence, elaborate and promote educational approaches sensitive to conflicts, and keep forces of law and order away from school environment during conflict situations to avoid inviting the opponent in such pedagogic areas, putting the pupils and students at risk.
Thanks very much, Hyacinth Chia. You draw the cuttings for this edition of the news, the 6:15 with me, Kejan Henry Atimbi. Look, the brief, the actuality is coming up in a jiffy with Janice Kamga from our liaison office in Yaoundé. From all of us, it's goodbye from me.